Okay, I am back. It's been a while since I did this. What is that shadow in the corner? No, a little bit more. Alright, it's been almost a week since I got Heatran. I did not intend to, not do Regigigas right away. But I am back now, and it might be even harder for me to do this in the future. Not only is my uncle and cousin coming over for a trip tomorrow night, but also today was day 0 of my brand new job. I got a job recently. Today was day 0, my first day. I call this day 0 instead of day 1. And that's because today was just training. My schedule for this new job is Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. But today's a Tuesday. And only this Tuesday, I went in for training. So today's not my technically first day of work. So today is day 0. Today is just training. And let me tell you, oh boy, it's been a long day. First of all, my work schedule is from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So that's 4 hours, 3 days a week, which isn't bad. It's only a part-time job, which I was told today that schedule should be temporary. The plan is for that schedule to be temporary. The plan is for sometime, maybe soon, I go from part-time to full-time. If I do a good job, that is, So instead of 10:30 to 2:30, I would go the full 10:30 to 6:30. So for a 10:30 job, today I woke up at 8 in the morning. I probably don't need to wake up that early, but I get up that early just in case, I don't want to be late the first day. On day 0. So yeah. Normally takes me about an hour to get ready in the morning. And because I'm starting so early at 10:30, I know people do 9 to 5. That's even earlier. But for the sake of it, we're talking about me right now. And my situation. So yeah. It takes me about an hour to get ready, brush my teeth, take a dump, shower, get changed, everything. So I fully ready around 9 a.m. And then, I still want to eat something before I go out, preferably. So let's say I make myself a breakfast and eat it. Takes like 20 minutes maybe. Could be more. Well, by this point, it's like 9:30 in the morning. I have plenty of time to make sure I have everything I need, get out the door, drive to work, and still be early. Anyway, so yeah, that's my schedule. For today, the training, holy shit, it was so overwhelming. Because unlike my job now at the family store where it's all paperwork, writing everything down manually, there ain't a damn sheet of paper here. At least not really. Everything is online. Everything is computer. And holy crap. Could they even attempt to make a more complicated system? Their system is so complicated, so complex, so many moving parts. I'm surprised the boss, the owner himself, even knows everything by heart. It is so convoluted. It is so complex. Just so much to take in. Now, obviously, I know that starting any new job and the training process, the learning curve, it's gonna be tough for anyone and everyone. But like, holy shit, I've never had training for a job this complicated before. Not even when I worked at the vet clinic was it this complex. And I need to memorize all of this stuff by heart. Now, even the boss acknowledged that you're not going to be able to memorize this on day one, Even the other staff members, it took them weeks to finally get the hang of it. It's like, oh crap, you're telling me I gotta struggle with this for weeks? So the computer system is so complex, so complicated, it's gonna be a nightmare to navigate. So what exactly is my job? Well, for the most part, I shouldn't even say for the most part, for the least part, exactly the same as I'm doing now. Sales, greeting customers, that stuff. But this time with the added, basically, receptionist. So, phone calls, I answer. Booking exams, I do. Whenever someone comes in for the exam, I hit on the computer, they arrived. I do the pre-screening, and then they go in, and then blah, 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 make the payments. The payments is a whole nother story, because that itself is a whole nother complex thing that I gotta memorize too. But aside from that, the job is boring. The boss says, he doesn't want the business to only be the exams. He also wants the sales to grow, which makes sense. I get that. But given the landscape that I saw today, today only had 2 exams booked. A third one just as I was about to leave. And then 0 people walked in to browse, let alone buy. So, for the most part, I sit there and just wait for someone to come in. Unless there's stuff for me to do, there's nothing for me to do. If you know what I mean. So the job is boring. And aside from, the job is boring and complex given the computer system I gotta get the hang of. And this isn't temporary, Folks, this isn't temporary. This isn't a one-time thing. No, this is my life now. I got this job. I'm stuck with it. Unless I do bad and get fired, I don't want that. I don't want to... I'm not going to quit the job just because the training was overwhelming. No, this is my life now. Do I like it? Do I like this is my life now? Do I like this job? So far, no. No, I do not. But, that's the case with everything and everyone, right? Everyone, whenever you get a new job, there's always the training, the learning curve. You never like it because you're introduced to something new. It's complicated at first. And, obviously, you gotta work. No, just me? I'm the only one who hates my job the moment I start? Okay, just me then. So yeah, it's very tough. I'm sure, oh my god, I'm sure given a couple weeks from now, when I've gotten the hang of it, it'll flow smoother. But for now, it's like, holy crap, it is so complicated, so overwhelming. This is my life now. People have been telling me, get out of my comfort zone. Well, there's a reason it's called the comfort zone, because I don't like going out of my comfort zone. I hate this. I liked it better when I was at the family store. I could basically do what I want, goof off until stuff happens and I need to work. But that lifestyle, I recognize, is not sustainable. So it's either enjoy life and have it be unsustainable, or, you know, suck it up and, you know, grind for that bread. Moral of the story is life is just unfair. Life is tough, you know? This is a cruel world we live in. It's eat or be eaten. So, the boss is nice, at least. He's a chill guy. And I don't mean that meme, which at this point is already dead. The place is very small. Extremely small. I kid you not. The whole place is borderline the size of my bedroom. The entire store is pretty much the size of my bedroom. It is extremely small. It's no wonder it's really just 2 people working. So it would be someone like me and the boss. It would be just 2 people working. However, there lies the kind of dumb thing that my schedule is doing now. I mentioned today is day 0. Today was just training. Tomorrow, officially on day 1, well, I'm on my own. Like, literally, my entire shift from 10:30 to 2:30, tomorrow, I will be alone. No boss, no other staff members, just me. Like, I will be the one opening the door and sitting there until, you know, someone else comes in to take over. When I leave at 2:30 in the afternoon. Now, if you ask me, that seems kind of stupid. Because you have a new hire who barely has a hold on the convoluted system that you were training him to do. And his first official day, you're like, all right, here you go. Store's all yours. It's like, doesn't seem like the smartest move, in my opinion. I don't know. A part of me is gonna be glad that tomorrow I'm gonna be alone. If anything, like... if anything, I could literally just, like, not open the door and just say that I worked. Because even the boss was like, I trust you. Horrible mistake saying that. But I'm not gonna do that, because I actually need to clock in and clock out. And also, of course, there's security cameras. So... if anything, I wouldn't mind being alone, you know, once I'm more familiar. But, like, this is technically my first official day, and I barely have a hold on the system. The way you operate the business. And you're gonna leave me alone to man the store for my entire shift? Doesn't seem like the smartest idea. Now, you might be asking, well, if you're alone, what'll happen if someone comes in? Now, first, let me explain that part. So, if I'm there alone, that means the doctor's not there. That means there's not going to be any exams booked for that time. So, anyone coming in for an exam is already off the table, so that's good. I would not even be qualified to do anything in that case. So, I'll be there. My job would be to answer the phone calls, if anyone calls. My job is to reply to emails, if anything. And my job is also to sit there and wait to see if anyone walks in to browse, possibly purchase. You know, my biggest concern is, what if someone comes in for a pickup? I'm just like, oh shit, what do I do now? I need to find your I need to find your shit. Find your order, and then I gotta do however you guys do the whole process, and then what do I do there? Right? It's like, oh shit, what if someone comes in for pickup? So, I'm kind of screwed tomorrow. Because for some reason, the boss thought it would be a good idea to leave me alone for the entire day tomorrow. By the way, remember how I mentioned that I was up since 8 in the morning? Well, I haven't really had much sleep since then. I tried to take a power nap when I got home. But the moment I started to doze off, I got a call to say, get up and make dinner. And also, remember how I said my shift is from 10:30 to 2:30? Well, today, I actually didn't leave until 3:30. Will I be paid overtime? I don't know. I would not expect to today, since today was day 0 and just training. The reason I left late today is because, you know, we were in the moment, we were talking, throwing out business ideas and whatnot. I'll be honest, I was just spewing nonsense to make it seem like I knew something. And then, right as I clocked out, right as I was about to step out the door, the phone called. And wouldn't be a good look on the quote-unquote first date to be like, alright, I already clocked out, bye. Of course I had to answer the phone. And also technically answering the phone and blah 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 booking the appointment was a good learning experience, you know, learning in the moment what to do, see if I knew how to work the system or not. So I left around an hour later than I should have. And then, okay, so I left around 3:30, but I did not come home until like 5 o'clock. I had a couple things to do, you know, a couple places to go to before coming home. My sister wanted me to pick something up for her because it's dead ass right next to where I work. But on the way there, I got lost. Because exiting the plaza, there's only like specific ways you turn to get out. So it's not like a stoplight or what. It's not like a traffic light. If you leave, you're only allowed to go the right direction. You can't turn left. That kind of exit. And there was also construction, so I thought, okay, let me do this turn so I can bypass across the construction. But then I got lost. And because my sister didn't even send me the name of the place she wants me to go to, I couldn't GPS my way there despite it just being right next to where I am. Like I said, I took a couple turns and I got lost. So, a little while later, I found my way there, I picked up her stuff. And then, you know, I bought food since I hadn't eaten since like 9:30 in the morning. By this point, it was already like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And then pick stuff up, pick more stuff up. And actually, on my way home, I was going to get gas for the car. So I had a couple things to do before I got home. By the time I got home, it was already like 5 p.m. So, earlier when I was on my way home and I tried to get gas, when I got to the gas station, right outside the house, I got a knock at the door on my car door from one of the workers there, and I was told, sorry, the entire system's down, no gas. Well, that would explain why the entire gas station was empty. So, yeah, the entire gas station system was down, so no gas whatsoever. I still have enough gas. It's just, you know, it's almost empty, so I figured may as well get it. Because tomorrow morning, my sister's gonna have to wake up early to bring my dogs to the groomers. And I figured, well, she's gonna need the car tomorrow morning, so let me get the gas now. I tried, and I couldn't. So I called my sister. So I just tried to get gas, but they said the whole system was down, so I couldn't get gas. You're going to need to get gas tomorrow morning when you bring the dogs to the groomers. And then, get this. My sister got angry. She got angry. She literally got mad. She was saying like, okay, if that's the case, I'll just take mom's car. And I'm just like, no, you know how mom is. She doesn't like dog fur in her car. Because when you got 2 dogs in the car, before and after grooming. There's a lot of shedding. So my mom doesn't like that there's a lot of fur in her car. So take our car instead. And I'm just like, no. You're not taking mom's car. You're taking this car tomorrow. And that's how my sister literally got mad. She got mad like, I cannot get gas tomorrow morning. I won't have time. And I just hung up on her. I'm just like, I'm not dealing with your bullshit right now. I don't know what you're getting mad at me for. All I'm telling you is I couldn't get gas now. So you're going to have to get gas tomorrow when you use the car. And she got mad at me. You want to hear more bullshit when it comes to my sister? So, the past, I think it was last week. Last week, my sister took like 3 days off of work. So, like, she already has the 1 day off of work, and she takes like 2 days off on top of that. Regardless of if it's busy or not, she can just take 3 days off in a week on a whim just like that. And I'm the one who has to find a job. What kind of bullshit is that? She got the nerve to take 3 days off a week on a whim, unannounced. And I'm the one who has to job hunt. I'm the one who has to go out and find a job. What kind of bullshit is that? You know, all I know is if I bring this up to her, I'm just like, sister, if I'm the one going out and finding a job, the least you can do is show up, you know? The least you can do is actually be here regardless of if it's busy or not. I just know she's gonna make the counter argument. Well, brother, I'm the one who does everything at work. I don't see you doing this or you doing that, you know? If I do everything at work, the least you can do is, you know, blah, 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 be there, and I got other stuff to do, blah, blah, blah. And then I can make the counter argument, like, all right, you do everything at work. Well, I cook dinner at home. The least you could do is wash the dishes. Because I do that at home, too. I cook the dinner with my mom, and then I wash the dishes. You don't see me complaining. You don't see me being like, sister, I cook you dinner. The least you can do is wash the dishes after. You don't see me doing that or saying that. But yeah, what kind of bullshit is that? My sister can take several days off in the week on a whim just like that, and I'm the one who needs a job search. You know what else is pretty bullshit? So the way that my current work schedule is now, while it's still part-time, before I eventually, much to my disappointment, get switched over to full-time. So, like I said, my work schedule right now, part-time, is from 10:30 in the morning to 2:30 in the afternoon. But I wake up at 8 in the morning. Once I'm done my shift at 2:30, I'm going home. I'm going back to the family store. I'm tired. I'm going my ass back to home to sleep. And like I said in everything else I just rambled about, my sister does everything at work, so I'm kind of just there. That's why they've been really pushing hard to basically kick me out and have me find a job, because my sister does everything and I just kind of sit there. So yeah, my sister, she already does everything at work, plus the fact that work isn't really that busy, especially during weekdays. So my plan is, well, I get up at 8 in the morning and I'm off at 2:30 in the afternoon. I'm going home to sleep. The hell with you guys. Sister, you got everything else taken care of at work. Well, tomorrow morning, when I wake up at 8, and when I'm done my shift at 2:30, I still gotta go back to the family store because my sister has some sort of bullshit she got to go do. So once I'm done my morning shift, I gotta go back to the family store so my sister can leave and do whatever the hell she needs to do. Man, what kind of bullshit is that? What the hell? You pushed so hard for me to go out and find a job. Well, I finally found a job. And you still take time off? I thought the whole point of me finding a job was not only so that I go out and, you know, grind for this bread, but also so that you can stay your ass at work, because I'm not there. You know, on weekends, specifically Saturdays, I gotta go back. Saturdays, same thing, 10:30 to 2:30, and then once I'm done my shift there, I gotta go back to the family store. Because it's busier on Saturdays. So Saturdays, I have no choice but to essentially work 2 jobs back to back. Like, for that, at least I'm not complaining. That, it's like, alright, fine. That makes sense, given how busy Saturdays can be. But on weekdays? Weekdays where barely shit happens? It's like, well, you wanted me to get a job so badly. Well, mission accomplished. You got what you asked for. While I go out, you stay there and you take care of the rest. And that can't even happen. It's like, what the hell? What kind of bullshit am I dealing with? Well, that's my life right now. An overwhelming, complicated, boring-ass job that I am not particularly fond of, yet. And a sister who is an absolute hoe. Life is hard. Life is super hard. You know what my favorite thing about the job is? The pay. So, on days where it's not busy, I have very little, very simple things to do. But on busier days, I gotta deal with the convoluted ass computer system, which is so complicated, so many things to remember. So, yeah, it's overwhelming. But I get paid $24 an hour right now, before probation or whatever. And then, once this probation period is over, I get paid $26 an hour. And, you know, God bless if it's a slow day where not really anything happens, I still get paid $26 an hour for sitting my ass there and not really doing anything. If you can hear that, I'm just drinking water. I know it sounds weird, but don't worry about it. $26 an hour. That's extremely good, actually. It's no doctor's salary, but still, $26 an hour. That's kind of insane. Previously, I wasn't making anywhere close to that. You know, during the interview, the Zoom meeting interview, when the boss asked me how much I expect to be paid, I even lowballed it. I even went low, and I was saying, like, Starting off, you know, part-time, I would expect to maybe earn $20 an hour. And then he was just like, oh no, I would pay you bare minimum 26. And I'm just like, okay, all right. That's way better than what I was shooting for. I was only shooting for 20 an hour. You're telling me you'll pay me at least 26? Shit, if you're gonna start like that, I'm never gonna ask for a raise. But yeah. For some reason, the boss thinks it's a good idea to trust me with a key to open the store in the morning. On my first official day. It's like, what kind of stupidity is that? Like, what the hell? You know, if anything, since I'm the one opening the door, I'm the one opening the business to be embraced by the world. Even if I'm late by like 5 or 10 minutes, nobody will know. Well, then again, I do need to clock in. There is that. But like, you know, I could just chalk it up as, oh, I'm still not familiar with the system. I forgot how to clock in. Because for my first official day, I could. But I'm not going to do that. I'm still going to show up on time. I really hope. I didn't even consider this. Of course, the place has a bathroom. And I really hope it's not part of my job to clean that toilet if a mess is made in there. It's like, oh, hell no. Someone had explosive diarrhea and clogged that joint, and it's my job to clean that up? Oh, hell no. That ain't worth 26 an hour. Actually, it kind of is. After this, I'm going straight to bed, you know? Like I said, I've been up since 8 in the morning and I had a very, very brief power nap. Alright, enough rambling about my life. My life now as it is and my life moving forward. You know, if anyone Mandarin comes in or calls on the phone, I'm royally fucked. So today, there was a Pokemon Presents. In fact, this Pokemon Presents was announced like 2 months ago. I don't know why they announced it so early in advance. Part of me was thinking I would have to watch this direct after my shift today, because I kind of forgot what time it started and I did not look it up. To my surprise, it started at 9 a.m., so I had plenty of time to watch the direct in full before I even had to leave the house. So actually, let me pull up the Pokemon Presents. It was about 24 minutes long. So, a handful of things I don't care about. Pokemon World Championships in Anaheim. I don't really care about those. I don't really watch the competitions. But, cool. Still. You know, I would attend if it was, you know, close. But it's not. And now that I have a job, well, my chances of flying out to attend a Pokemon event are now more than 0. Wait, no. Less than 0. You know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so other things like Pokemon Concierge, I don't really care about that. I haven't been watching it. There's a new show being announced, or at least a new short show. It's like The Misadventures of Sirfetch'd and Pichu coming 2027. Jeez, that's like 2 years away. Well, we got an announcement, Poké Park Kanto. I see here it says Inagi City, Tokyo. Kawasaki City, Kanagawa Prefecture. That's what it says here. So it's kind of like an open park area where there's a bunch of Pokemon statues. And it's meant to kind of show off what Pokemon would look like in real life, in the natural habitat, in the forest. Poké Park Kanto. I wonder if it's going to extend to like Johto, Hoenn, Sinnoh, Unova, Kalos, the rest of them. It says grand opening planned for early 2026. I mean, it kind of just looks like it's going to be an open park area with a bunch of Pokemon statues laid around. Which I guess could be neat, but you can really only visit it so many times before you can already point out where everything's going to be on your visit. So up next, we got some Pokemon Go news. We got Eternatus showing up. Eternatus for Go Fest Max Finale. A bunch of Dynamax and Gigantamax Pokemon are going to be spawning. There was also a promo code, GoFest Max, you can enter online. I already did that, and I chose the Cinderace path, or chose the Cinderace option. Let's see, we got some more stuff for Pokemon Masters Sex. I don't play Masters EX. I tried it, game's not for me. But, you know, have fun if you're playing it. Carmine and Sinistcha are in the game now. Cool. We got this little, like, almost Wind Waker ghost ship with a giant Lapras. And then it turns out it's just for Cafe Remix. I don't play Cafe Remix. I tried it once when the Shiny Piplup event came out all those years ago. I tried it. I tried to get the Shiny Piplup. No luck. And I have not played it since. Pokemon Sleep. I don't do that. Pokemon Unite. Same thing. I tried it before. Game's not for me. The TCG. Sure, the cards look cool. But I don't collect Pokemon cards anymore. Spend too much money. So we got this new game. This Pokemon Friends. Where it looks like it's just a puzzle solver. I don't know. It seems, is it bad if I say it kind of seems not worth my time? And then I also saw news online that the game will be free on mobile, but you would have to pay like $10 for it on Nintendo Switch. What the hell? Alright, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet stuff. So we have Max Raid. What? Is it Max Raid? No. It's Terrastal. What am I talking about? We have Terrastal Raid Dens for the shiny Treasures of Ruin. So shiny Wo-Chien, Chien-Pao, Ting-Lu, Ching-Yu. What? Chi-Yu. They will be getting shiny Terrastal Raids. Or Terra Raids. Why am I calling them Terrastal Raids? They will be getting shiny Terra Raids. However, you will not be able to catch them like that. You can only battle them. Kind of makes me wonder why even make them shiny. Just taunting you that you can't catch them. But yeah, it's kind of like the Zeraora event that happened in Sword and Shield. You battle them. We as a community, as gamers, we battle them a collective 1 million times. And we will be able to receive them shiny. Probably as a mystery gift later on. We also got new password events for Scarlet and Violet. Scarlet gets S tracksuit, Violet gets V tracksuits, and yeah, we get tracksuits, new clothing items. Cool, cool. Pokemon Champions. We got a little bit of a glimpse at that, some gameplay footage. Yeah, people are basically saying this game is going to be like an official version of Pokemon Showdown, which I never played because I just flat out don't understand. My biggest question for Pokemon Champions still is, since it's able to connect to Pokemon Home, will there be some sort of Pokedex completion for a shiny reward? We'll have to wait and see. Alright, and the big stuff, Legends ZA. So we got some new gameplay footage. But who cares? Let's talk about the big thing that was revealed. Mega Dragonite. It's real. It finally happened. Mega Dragonite is real. They haven't revealed what the Mega Stone is going to be called. If it's actually going to be called the Dragoniteite. So yes, Mega Dragonite. And actually, the leaks were pretty spot on. There were leaks a while ago, quite a while ago actually, describing what Mega Dragonite would look like. And it was pretty spot on. You know, angel wings on Dragonite's head instead of the antennas. There being an orb on the end of Dragonite's tail. So basically more so resembling Dragonair. Now, this Mega Dragonite design is a little bit underwhelming. It's damn near just Dragonite with wings and a ball on its tail. Mega Dragonite is almost the exact same design. Mega Dragonite design is kind of akin to Mega Kangaskhan's design, where it hardly changes, it's just the baby that changes. But majority of the design stays the same. Anyways, whatever. We're finally getting Mega Dragonite. Makes you wonder what other Megas are going to be new in this game. I feel like they would want to promote a little bit more Megas, new Megas, instead of just one. We've known this game's existence for over a year now, and this is the first time we've seen a single brand new Mega. I would think they would want to market a little bit more. If anything, the game looks great, but the footage is shown in Switch 2 renders. We have a couple characters returning who we've seen in the past before, like Emma. It does not look like Looker is going to be returning. There's also Mabel. Wow, they're just not even hiding it anymore. Where's the rest of the Team Flare grunts, or admins? I really hope Switch 1 game isn't absolute trash. Don't worry, I will find out for you. And then in the game, it looks like there's going to be wild Mega Pokemon. Rogue Mega Evolution. Something's happening in universe where Pokemon Mega Evolve in the wild on their own. So basically just all established rules for Mega Evolution. Yeah, fuck all that. The hell with needing a Mega Stone and a Keystone. Well, Rayquaza ruined that already, but, you know, we were all willing to give it that one exception. But yeah, the hell with the rules that have already been established. You don't need a Keystone and a Mega Stone anymore. They just Mega Evolved on their own now. At least in the wild. Obviously, once you catch them, you will need to slap on the Mega Stone. You seem to get the Mega Stones when you beat the Rogue Megas. Possibly. Well, yeah, that's why they're saying it isn't normal and it's an issue. There's also pre-order bonuses for the game. You get a Gardevoirite as well as a gift Ralts, and then I think digital purchase, you get a bonus 100 Pokeballs. Well, after all these years, Mega Dragonite is real. Oh, just gotta wait another 10 years for them to give us the rest of the Mega Pseudo's missing one. But yeah, I do wish Mega Dragonite had a little bit more to it. But hey, then again, if the design is perfection, why change it, right? You know, none of the leaks I've been seeing are suggesting Mega Flygon. So if this game comes out and there is no Mega Flygon, well, it seems like all hope is dead. Oh yeah, speaking of Pokemon Go, so the other day, on my dad's birthday, that's also why I've been gone for a couple days instead of, you know, shiny hunting here. It's because it was my dad's birthday, and we celebrated several days in a row. But that's besides the point. So on my dad's actual birthday, and I've been saving this encounter. I had a handful of encounters that I was saving to catch on a special day. On July 2nd, the anniversary of Billy's passing, I caught Celebi on... Let's see. I think on July 15th, Sky's birthday, I caught Volcanion. On July 17th, Toby's birthday, I caught Shiny Meloetta. And then on the 21st, so yesterday, on my dad's birthday, I saved the encounter for the second Cubfu in Pokemon Go. So yesterday in Pokemon Go, I got my second Cubfu, so now I have two, and I can evolve it into each form if I want to, but I don't want to do that. Because I found out, after catching the second one, because I was just playing around, seeing like off chance if the second one could or not. Turns out now, Cubfu in Pokemon Go can indeed be sent to Pokemon Home. It can. Previously, there were 3 Pokemon that cannot send to Pokemon Home, being Cubfu, Zygarde, and Spinda. I was just playing around after I caught the second Cubfu, like, you know what, let me check. Maybe off chance the initial one cannot send, maybe the second one can. I checked, oh look at that, I can send it. I asked around and I got a response, yeah, since they allowed lucky trades for it, and at the end of last season, the transfer ban was lifted. Huh. I did not know that. So yeah, now Cubfu can be sent to Pokemon Home. So all the lunatics out there, just like yours truly, who's trying to complete the Pokemon Home, Pokemon Go decks, well, now you can send Cubfu over. However, I kind of don't want to, because the second Cubfu I caught was female. First of all, I didn't even know Cubfu could be female. I looked it up. It has like a less than 12% chance to be female. So the fact that I got a female Cubfu in Pokemon Go is extremely rare. And I kind of don't want to send it. And I kind of don't want to send my original one. I was kind of banking on having a second one to send if that was possible, which it is now. But it's female, so I don't want to send it. So now, I just gotta wait for a third one. Just like how I need to wait for a second Poiple. We'll have to wait and see how many years that takes. Okay, one more thing I want to talk about today, because I don't have the energy to talk about any shows. So a couple days ago, we got the official trailer for Mortal Kombat 2, the movie. Now, I'm hoping that the second movie is going to be an upgrade from the first one, because the first one kind of sucked. It was kind of mid at best. The first glaring negative I want to point out that I noticed from the trailer, Jade. Oh, unfortunately, Tati Gabrielle is playing Jade in the movie. Oh, man. We all remember the drama with Intergalactic. The drama's not exactly gone, it's just died down because, you know, the game. Nobody's talking about the game anymore. And we know how her extreme left mind reacted to the backlash to the game. You know, masculinity. And what else was there? What else was there? There was Hold on. Let me pull up the picture that she posted and immediately delete it. Fragile masculinity, 100% incel tears. So DEI-licious. You mad, bro? Why do you think I'm not a very happy fan that she was cast as Jade? You know, in the games, Jade is not only strong, but sexy. And, well, in the movie, unfortunately, Jade is bald. Now, I'm not trying to be like, you know, women can't be beautiful when they're bald. I don't know, in my opinion, Denai Guerrera doesn't look that bad bald when she plays Okoye. But, like, damn. Seeing her is kind of like seeing Rachel Zegler in a project. It's like, oh, now I'm less interested because she's in it. But yeah, it's like, damn. Jade is being played by Tati Gabrielle. That's a bit of a shame. But aside from the unfortunate news that is Jade, let's talk about the other characters in Mortal Kombat. Now, you know me, I'm a huge Mortal Kombat fan. I love Mortal Kombat. So it looks like in the trailer in this movie, actually let me rephrase that. It looks like in this movie, based off the trailer, we're going to be primarily following Johnny Cage. Johnny Cage, played by Carl Urban. Now, I like Carl Urban, you know? I like him as William Butcher, as well as Scourge in Thor Ragnarok. I like Carl Urban, but he's just not Johnny Cage in my eyes. He's just not Johnny Cage. He would have played a much better Kano, but Kano was already cast. So yeah. We got Carl Urban playing Johnny Cage, and he tries his best to do an American accent. I'm not gonna lie, throughout the trailer, I can hear hints of his accent peeking through. So it seems like in this iteration, Johnny Cage is pretty washed. Until he's met by Raiden and Sonya Blade. Now, I do like that Raiden is dressed in his more classic design, in his classic look. I do like that. However, I don't know, man. Raiden is probably my favorite character in Mortal Kombat. Specifically, the iteration from Mortal Kombat 9 to Mortal Kombat 11. Like, I really like that version of Raiden. Not as much the Raiden in Mortal Kombat 1. But, like, I know that... I'm gonna butcher this name. Tadanobu Asano is a great actor. But he's just not Raiden in my eyes, you know? When I hear Raiden's voice, I picture Raiden to sound more like this. And not like this. I am Raiden, protector of Earthrealm. Like, I don't know, man. I kind of wish he portrayed Raiden a little differently. Whatever, though. So yeah, Johnny Cage gets introduced to Mortal Kombat. We see in the trailers... actually, when you see in the trailer a bunch of new characters. We see Katana. We see Shao Kahn. We see Baraka. Baraka looks bizarre. Baraka looks weird. The way his mouth moves looks weird. And his voice kind of doesn't fit Baraka at all. We'll have to wait and see. I also saw in the trailer... Well, actually, it's very apparent that Kano is back. Correct me if I'm wrong, I thought he was killed in the first film. But it's Mortal Kombat, who knows? They can bring anyone back anytime. Very blink and you'll miss it. In the trailer, Kung Lao is also back in this film, and he super died in the first film. Cole Young is back in this movie. I don't know why his character even exists. You know, Cole Young is a movie original character to absolutely replace Johnny Cage. But now in the second movie, they're bringing in Johnny Cage. So what was even the point? Everyone's speculating that based on the trailer, Johnny Cage is going to be the main focus of the movie. And Cole Young is probably going to be more of a side character. I would not mind. Not only do I get to see Carl Urban, we get to follow Johnny Cage. So that's a win-win in my eyes. I'm also kind of surprised that Cole Young isn't in the games, you know? They haven't added him as like a DLC character. They added in costumes from the movie as DLC, but not the freaking character. I don't know, I guess they just want to keep the movie original character exclusive to the movie. Oh yeah, Jax is also back. Sonya Blade is back. We also see Sindel in the trailer, very briefly. I gotta say, Sindel, just from the quick little frames that we see her, it's not very clear. But for the most part, Sindel actually looks, dare I say, perfect. Sindel looks like she was ripped straight from the game. Specifically, it looks like the Mortal Kombat 1 design of her. Sindel actually looks damn near perfect. So we're getting a lot of characters. Great. And of course, Scorpion is back. At the end of the trailer, we see Scorpion in the Netherrealm fighting Bi-Han. But he's no longer Sub-Zero. He's Noob Saibot. So we're getting a ton of characters in this movie. So I'm excited for Mortal Kombat 2. Very excited. We get Carl Urban, and we see other characters. Jade kind of brings down my excitement a little bit, not gonna lie. But yeah, I'm excited for this movie. We get brand new characters. We're getting Baraka, Jade, Kitana, Sindel, Noob Saibot. And it's also rumored, I think, probably confirmed at this point, that Quan Chi will show up in this film. We already know Shang Tsung is going to be back. So yeah, I'm excited. I love Mortal Kombat. There was this one shot in the trailer that I'm kind of wondering are those the Kamidogus? Yeah, I'm not too sure if those are the Kamidogus. But yeah, Mortal Kombat, I'm excited. It also seems like they're potentially teasing a romance between Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade. Now, normally I'd be down with that because, you know, it's Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade. However, the characters themselves look like they have quite the age gap. And I just looked up the actors' ages. Carl Urban is right now 53. Jessica McNamee, oh my god. I'm sorry I butchered your last name. Jessica McNamee, I think. She's 37. So, there's a 16 years difference there. And it definitely shows. Carl Urban looks much older than Sonya Blade. So, not gonna lie, to me, it's like a little bit weird seeing those two hook up. But whatever. It's still the characters. I want to see them hook up. Maybe in a future film, we'll see a flash forward and we'll see Cassie Cage. And the rest of the combat kids. I mean, we already have Jack, so maybe we could introduce Jackie later on. We have Kung Lao. He's being brought back from the dead. Maybe Kung Jin. You know? We have not yet seen Kenshi. So Takeda might have to wait. Or at least the combat kids will have to wait until Takeda. What? The combat kids will have to wait until Kenshi gets introduced for Takeda. You know, there are other characters that I'm surprised are not done yet. Like, they have not done yet. The older movies did them, but I'm surprised these movies haven't done yet. Characters like Reptile, Ermac, Smoke. I mean, for God's sake, they did characters like Reiko and Nitara before them. And back then, watching the first Mortal Kombat movie, I didn't even know who Reiko and Nitara was. But you know what's one character I'm actually waiting to see, like I want to see? Sub-Zero. Specifically, Kuai Liang. We saw Bi-Han in the first movie. We're going to see Bi-Han in the second movie as Noob Saibot. Where's his brother? Where's Kuai Liang? I want to see the storyline play out where we see another Sub-Zero, a different Sub-Zero, and the rivalry between him and Scorpion, wanting to avenge his brother. But yeah, folks. Mortal Kombat 2. Anyone else excited? Actually, I just remembered that my Regigigas was sub 100 resets. Maybe it'll be the same for you, Copium. Don't worry, I'm totally jinxing it right now. We're back on Ultra Moon, so the universe should be much nicer to me. You know, I'm still shiny hunting in Diamond. No luck yet, of course. You know, the other day, at this point it was last week. Last week, No Shame in Feeding actually did a live stream on Twitch, finally, the Return of the King, where he did a Bakugan unboxing. And I'm just like, bro, are you sure you want to unbox this, given how much you said you spent on it? You were saying how you've seen people online like sell these for $1,000, and I'm just like, are you telling me you spent $1,000 on this? One of your friends in your chat were saying like, casually drops 1K ball. And you know, during that stream of yours, you just happened to name drop the fact that Bakugan introduced Aurelus? What's this? How's this called? I was kind of just joking in chat. I was like, yo, forget new Pokemon type, new Bakugan attribute when. And you just casually drop, oh yeah, they released Aurelus. And I'm just like, what the hell is Aurelus? Is Aurelus, however it's pronounced. I looked it up. It's like a gold bottle cap? It's like a gold Bakugan attribute. And then you just told me it kind of replaced Subterra. I'm just like, what the hell? First they ruined Chaos with the blue, and now they just flat out replaced Subterra? No. Bakugan fell off. The awesome Brawlers Bakugan fused with Aerolus Bakugan. A fusion of Aerolus Pharaoh. Huh? Man, how many shows are there for Bakugan? I assume all these names I see on the wiki are the names of different seasons, because ain't no way there's like 20 different shows. Can I go on like Wikipedia? Hold on. Wait a second. What is this? On June 16th, 2023, a trailer for a new Bakugan anime series was released on YouTube. The first 2 episodes were previewed on Roblox. What? Okay, let me see here. Bakugan Battle Brawlers 2007 to 2008. Bakugan Battle Brawlers New Vestroia 2009 to 2010. Jesus Christ, that was 15 years ago. Bakugan Gundalian Invaders. Which one was this? Did I even watch this? I think I stopped watching after New Vestroia. Huh? I don't think I watched up to here. I think I only watched up to season 2. That being New Vestroia. Bakugan Mectanium Surge. Yeah, I don't think I watched that. 2011 to 2012. I do see here that the original Bakugan show lasted 4 seasons. Was this one with the medal? Maybe. And then Generation 2, Bakugan Battle Planet Continuity. 2018 to 2020. This is a reboot of the series, starting a new continuity with updated designs and storylines. Let's see. So, Generation 2, the new continuity. Bakugan Battle Planet, Bakugan Armored Alliance, Bakugan Georgian Rising? Bakugan Evolutions, Bakugan Legends. New continuity? Boo! Disgusting. Why couldn't you have just made it connected? Boo! But wow, the original Bakugan ran for a straight 5 years. 2007 to 2012. Wow, I didn't know it ran for that long. I kind of fell off after New Vestroia, so that was season 2. Yeah, one day I want to rewatch the original series and, you know, finish watching the original series. Yo, that original Bakugan series from back in the day, seasons 1, just straight up battle brawlers, yo, that shit was gas. And then it culminated to Naga at the end. Yo, it peaked right before New Vestroia. Shit was hype back in the day. Seeing Dan battle against Masquerade. That was on the same I think that was the same time we were getting stuff like Ash versus Paul, Infernape versus, who was it, Electivire? We had it good growing up, you know that? Well, I'm out of things to talk about. I'm not going to talk about the shows today because I don't have the energy. Oh yeah, Donkey Kong Bonanza has come out. I did indeed buy the amiibo. Hey, what up? Any chance of catching shiny legendaries? So far, not yet. Finally got shiny Heatran last week. So much has changed in just a week. Got a job. My relatives are about to come visit. I gotta clean my room to let them crash in it. How many resets? No idea. Like a month. Like a month of hunting. That's some more bull that I gotta deal with. My sister and her husband, their brand new apartment is fully refurbished or whatnot. It's ready for living in. So the plan is, when my uncle and cousin come to stay, they take my room, and I sleep in my sister's smelly ass room. Ain't that some bullshit right there? I gotta lose my room again. When there's a perfectly vacant room right there. Man, every time Just because I'm the bitch in the family that everyone pushes around. So, of course, my room, I gotta lose. Man, she leaves, and I gotta clean my room. I gotta clear up my room, because let's face it, I got a bunch of crap in my room. All my amiibos, my Funko Pops, all my other stuff that I've wasted money on. I gotta clear all that stuff out. And the thing is, ain't no way I'm sleeping on my sister's booger-infested bed. You think I'm joking, but I'm not. It's a miracle she's married. Oh, hell no, I'm not sleeping on her dumpster of a bed. I'm pulling out a mattress and I'm sleeping on her floor. Tell your parents you need your room, you need privacy. Well, as much as I don't like the arrangements, you also have to keep in mind that realistically, this makes the most sense. My room is the only room in the house that has a bunk bed, so that alone is 2 beds right there. So, you know, 2 people are coming over to stay. It kind of just makes sense for me to lose my room so they can use the multiple beds already in place. So, that's number 1. Number 2, regardless of if she's here or not, it would be kind of bizarre. Like, think about this. You're visiting your relatives with your son. You know, my uncle and cousin are coming over. So you're visiting your relatives and you sleep on your niece's bed. That's a little bit bizarre. It would feel a lot better if you were to sleep on your nephew's bed as opposed to your niece's bed. Like, it just lightens the blow. You know what I mean? It just lessens the awkwardness. Regardless of if she's here or not, it's still a little bit bizarre to sleep on your niece's bed with your son. Yeah, that's a little bit bizarre, I'm not gonna lie. So, as much as I don't like the arrangement, it unfortunately makes the most sense. Ugh. So, yeah, they're taking my room, they're taking my bathroom as well. So I gotta sleep in my sister's room, I gotta sleep in... What? I gotta sleep in my sister's room, I gotta use my sister's bathroom. And let me tell you, my sister is not hygienic, not one bit. You know what's also such bullshit? So my uncle and cousin are coming over for just about 2 weeks. Little bit... Wait, no, I think it's just under 3 weeks. Whatever, they're coming over for a couple of weeks. Well, once they arrive, they're gonna have a couple of days of rest. You know, jet lag and also the long-ass plane ride from literally the other side of the planet. They're gonna be tired. And also scheduling. So, when they first arrive, they're gonna have a couple days here, and then they're leaving. Just the 2 of them, they're leaving for a week. They're gonna go to, like, Montreal for a week, just the 2 of them. And oh no, I don't get my room back for that week, because they've already settled in. They already lied their head down on the pillows, the beds. I ain't about to take that back. Because what's the point? What, you're gonna change out all the pillow casings and the sheets just so I can have a clean bed to lie on just for them to come back a week later and do the same thing? So what's the point? So for that week that they're gone, I don't get my room back. I can go in my own room, but I don't get to sleep in my own room. Well, I could, but it's just a big hassle if I want to. My life is in shambles right now. Show Bakugan? I don't have any. At least not right now. Not right here with me. Where'd you display that $1,000 ball of yours? Sell all the ones I sold you. Easy profit. It's right next to me. I mean, I get that. When you buy something expensive that you really treasure, you just want it in front of you just to admire it. Just to look at it, just to admire it. I play with it because it flaps. True, true. No, I'm just in the honeymoon phase, so I'm playing with it, but it's probably going on the shelf. Man, I think you missed it when I mentioned all this earlier. Tomorrow morning, I gotta go into work, like the new job, and I'm gonna be alone. What kind of stupid shit is that? The system that they introduced me to, the way that they do business, is so complex, so convoluted. I barely have an understanding of it. And tomorrow, I'm gonna be alone. I'm gonna be on my own. It's like, what kind of stupid ass shit is that? I was literally given a key to open the store myself. And my entire shift tomorrow is just gonna be me. What? How are you gonna leave the keys to the kingdom to someone who is brand new and barely know what he's doing? First day? That's crazy. Yep. Tomorrow's technically my first day. Today was day 0 of work. Now, if I win the lottery, well, you know what I'm trying to say. If I get lucky, then it shouldn't be too big a deal. I'm on my own. Yeah, I'm on my own. There's no doctor there. That means no appointments. So I'm on my own. If I'm lucky, no one will come in, no customers will come in, and I just get paid to sit there for 4 hours. However, if, God forbid, someone comes in for a freaking pickup, I am so screwed. Because I barely know what to do. Like, how are you going to explain to a customer, hey man, listen, today's my first day and they left me alone here, I barely know what to do. How do you explain that to someone? And even worse, if someone Mandarin comes in for a pickup, I am so fucked. I am screwed. At that point, it's like, you know what? Well, it was a nice ride for a day and a half. Yeah, good luck with the business. Here's the key back to the business. There you go. Well, where is my life going? And you probably missed this too. I assume they don't know you don't know Mando. Oh no, they very much know. I don't know why the hell I was hired. You know? You know, I should consider myself lucky. The world treats you like shit for not knowing a certain language. At least that's my experience. At least all the businesses and owners I've had the luxury and privilege of talking to when job searching, at least they didn't straight up just laugh in my face when I told them I don't speak Mandarin. Have you gotten anything by mail recently? By mail? Oh, you mean the Canada Post thing. Things I've ordered via Canada Post tracking has not worked whatsoever. I got my Donkey Kong Bonanza amiibo last week. Or was it last week? May have been 2 weeks ago. No, whenever the game came out. I think it was last week. Then again, I'm not too sure if that was Canada Post. I think that may have been DHL. Or was it Pure later? I don't know, I don't really have anything else I'm expecting in the mail. Not to my knowledge. Oh yeah, you know, I was told earlier today that I would be getting paid via e-transfer. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of expecting to be given a physical check to bring to the bank. I don't know. E-transfer, I guess that's nice and simple. Technology, am I right? You know, this new job is the polarizing, bare bones opposite of what I do now at the family store. Via transfer, they're doing some tax dodging shit. Yeah, I guess you could say that. But yeah, at the family store, we do paperwork. Everything we do, we write down into books that have all the information. This place, oh hell no. They got one of the most complex computer systems I've ever seen in my life. You know, it's kind of akin to like, you ever been at the doctor's or the hospital and you just look over the shoulder and you see this mess of a computer screen that somehow the staff knows to operate? It's kind of like that. I am working at a clinic after all. So, you know, I salute all the people working at doctors' clinics and hospitals, because I tell you, now that I've seen firsthand, and now that I'm expected to know the system, yeah, those systems are complex at hospitals and whatnot. It can never be simple, you know? But then again, given how many moving parts there are, it's kind of hard for it to be simple. I don't think they could even achieve to make it more complex, even if they tried. It is so complicated. There's so many things to know. I hate it. Why couldn't it be nice and simple? Just write everything into a book, you know? What was so hard about the old ways? You know me and my stance on technology taking over everything. AI is only gonna further that development. But like, what was so wrong with the old ways? People write down things on paper. People used cash instead of cards. What was so wrong with the old ways, right? But technology and the newer ways makes things more convenient. Does it now? Does it really? Because what I've seen at work that I need to do, convenient is anything but. Like, holy shit, I gotta memorize all that stuff. There was so much. And the thing is, tomorrow, I'm on my own. There is no one to teach me. So if, God forbid, I need to do something on the system, I'm on my own. So I can't even ask for help. On the bright side, since I got a heads up that tomorrow I will be on my own, I did double check with the boss, like, hey, can I by chance write down things on a piece of paper that need to be done in case I don't remember the system? And he's just like, yeah, sure. So at least there's that. I don't think the rest of the staff are gonna like me, given the first impression I'm gonna give. You know, when I clock out, the other person clocks in, I'm just like, hey, I got this whole list of stuff that needed to be done, and I don't really know how to do it. Can you please help me with this? Can you please help me do this? Thanks, bye. Not exactly the best first impression. And I am, at this point, rarely going to get the chance to meet the other staff members because we kind of tagging in, tagging out. The moment I clock out, someone else will clock in. You know, me talking to the boss today and getting a feel of things, even he doesn't really know what some of his staff does. Like, the boss, the doctor, he does the exam stuff, and he just leaves the ordering stuff to the staff, like me. Not like me just yet, but like the other staff who are like me. And then I asked him about some stuff, and he's just like, I don't know. They handle it. Well, that's a great sign. I'm not gonna lie, if I was the boss of a place, I would be like that too. I'd be like, I don't know. They handle all that stuff. I don't know what I'm doing here. My dog was in here the whole time? I forgot he was sleeping in here. Sweetie, I forgot you were in here. Oh, sorry about that. I just had to leave for a second. Yep, I got Shiny Heatran. Shiny Regigigas is exclusive. You know, I only have one Shiny Regigigas in my Pokemon Go, and it's a Shadow Shiny. In fact, I'm just about to finish best buddying it. Why am I best buddying it? Because it's one of my only Shadow Shinies in the game. I think at the moment I only have like 4. I have a Shadow Shiny Ho-Oh, also best buddying. Shadow Shiny Regigigas. Shadow Shiny Meowth. That was my first ever Shadow Shiny. As well as a Shadow Shiny Skorupi, I think. I think that's it. You know, I was going to talk about the shows today. I was going to finally be done with Ironheart, as well as discuss the ending to Squid Game, but I'm just too tired. Did I see the Pokemon Presents? Yep. Mega Dragonite. You know, speaking of some Pokemon Go stuff, I mentioned earlier how it looks like Cub Fu can now be transferred to Pokemon Home. And I mentioned that the only other two that cannot are Zygarde and Spinda. Well, it seems like we got some leaks on Eternatus, and it seems like Eternatus also cannot transfer to Pokemon Home. In fact, it also seems like you can only catch one Eternatus per game. So if you take down another Eternatus, you'll just get candies for it. Who knows? Wait, who knows who else is coming alongside Mega Dragonite? Well, the leakers do. The Mega Dragonite leak, from the looks of it, was pretty accurate, so, if you've seen the leaks, you have a pretty good idea of who else is coming. Ugh. Guess what? Chicken butt. Shiny treasures of ruin raids. That's right. I'm gonna do those in a couple of days. We have like 2 weeks for the first one. I'm gonna do my share in a couple days from now. I'm gonna stream all of them, even if we can't catch them, which, why even bother making them shiny if we can't catch them? You know, you may have, well, just made them in the raids regular, and just be like, well, if you defeat 1,000,000 of them, you get the shiny as a reward. Why even bother making them shiny? Just taunting us that we can't catch the shiny right in front of us. Like, damn, I want to catch it, instead of just being given it. I want to catch it with whatever ball am I choosing, and I want to get it with my OT. Ugh. Yeah, I'm going straight to bed after this. I need to wake up at 8 again in the morning. I don't have to, but I'm still gonna do it. You know what? At work, they write down everything. they write down everything. For example, like you write down the price. The original price was, let's say, $100. If you as the you as the seller, I guess. If the seller wants to give like a discount because the customer's so annoying, they won't shut up until you give them one. You even have to write that down. And in the computer system, there's multiple options. You can literally select, all right, I give this person 10% off, 20% off. I gave them a flat $30 off. Or if it's a custom price, you literally have to type that in. The original price is this. If there's no like percentage of how much you took off their total, you literally type out, this is what you gave them. They write down everything. At the family store, hell nah. We don't write down the original price and then we write down the price that we sold it as. We just write whatever we sold it as. If the price was, $500 and we sold it for $450, we don't write both of them. We just write $450. But these guys, they mark down everything. I mean, I guess it's good to be thorough, but it's also like, how thorough is it to the point it's too much, It's like, how important is this information to know for the future? For some reason, I gotta go blow my nose. I'll be right back. Hold on. Ugh. Ugh. Almost done, folks. Couple more minutes and then I'm gonna call it. I am very sleep deprived. I've been awake for almost 14 hours. No, wait, that's not right. 16 hours. And that's going to be the case moving forward. At least on the days I gotta go to this job, which is only 3 days a week. Man, it's like school. It's like classes. And I'm gonna dread every time I have to go in here. And believe you me when I tell you, this job doesn't just require me to know the system by heart. I also have to. I got homework. I got things to study. Like there are things I need to study and know. Clearly, I chose poorly when choosing career paths. But, you know, what career path doesn't have things for you to study and know? I think my first mistake in life was being born. Oh, I think I just saw a follow. Thank you for that. Well, this will be the last one. I'm tired. I gotta get to bed. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time.